Hi, this is Risa with Risa Crowbo Creative, and I'm excited to take you step by step through how to make this Valentine heart wreath. I like to start with a grapevine base. A thinner one will show less than a thicker one. About 10 inches is the size I used, and then grapevine wire, 20 gauge floral wire. It is the easiest for me to wrap while still being sturdy. And then also some binding wire, which is what I use to attach the grapevine wire to the wreath, and I'll show you all of that. The pattern I used is petal shape number 3. There's 3 sizes, and I use that middle size, and then wool blend felt in whatever colors you want. You can of course do any combination of colors. I used 2, red and white. To get started, I attach I attach floral wire to the grapevine wire by just wrapping it around. And at this point, I was kind of playing around with the length. I wanted it to be long enough to where the heart stuck out a little bit and had some movement, but not too long to where there was gaps. So I ended up deciding that 3 inches long was a good length for wrapping it around twice and having the length I wanted of stem. And I'm just spacing these out about every inch or so. It's really kind of however wide you want it to be. To speed things up a little bit, I would do about 5 of these stems at a time, where I would attach the floral wire around the grapevine wire and then add the heart petals. And this grapevine wire is the length of the wreath base. I had measured it to go around the wreath base the exact length I needed. So I know I'm just going to fill up this whole length of grapevine wire with heart petals. If I had had a different color of grapevine wire that matched that grapevine wreath base, I would have used it like a darker brown, and I'll put links in the description for all the supplies I used. But it basically is just an easier way to attach the heart petals to something without having to mess with adding wire to the grapevine wreath base. This just is a lot easier for me. So to put the petals on the wire, you can see I'm just putting a little dab of glue at the bottom of that heart, just pressing it right onto that wire and pinching and holding. Okay, now this is a fun craft to do while watching a Netflix show or listening to an audiobook, but it does get going. It's just, a little bit of a process, of course, but it really is such a pretty full wreath when you're done. So you just put a little bit of glue at the base of that heart and then pinch it around the wire. Now it's important to make sure that the wire is touching the glue itself and the heart, because if you don't put the wire right into the glue, then it can slip out really easily. And at the beginning here, I did alternate where I would do like a pair of red hearts and then a pair of white and switch back and forth. And then as I kind of got an idea for how it was looking, I switched that up a little bit. I really didn't worry about this project being super uniform. I just kind of wanted to add the hearts in a way that looked pretty. And you can see as you're going what it's going to look like, because this is going to go straight onto the grapevine wreath, so you can just kind of see how you like it and wrap your wires and add your hearts, as close or as far apart as you want to. This is where you just kind of get into a rhythm with a little practice. After you've done a few, you'll get into a rhythm. You'll just keep going down the grapevine wire and adding your leaves or adding your heart petals onto your floral wire, and then just twisting and arranging it as you go. So now I have my hearts all the way along the length of that grapevine wire, and I'm just going to tuck the end into one of the little sticks that come across and just wrap it a little bit into that section to kind of secure it onto the top of the grapevine wreath. And then I will work my way around and attach this heart garland to the wreath form. And my favorite way to attach it and to secure it in place is to use what is called binding wire. If you search for binding wire, you can find it on Amazon. It's a huge roll. I have the link in the description, but I just cut a little strip of that and then wrap it around a section of the grapevine wire that is attached to the wreath. And I kind of played around with different ways to do that. I was trying to stick it inside and realized, you know what? It doesn't matter. I'll just wrap it all the way around. And so that's what I end up doing here, just wrapping it around the grapevine wire and the wreath and securing it, like twisting it around. And this wire doesn't show at all once it's wrapped. So I just moved my way around the wreath and secured it as I went. I think I did like a total of 4 different times, and this helped to lay on the wreath and measure up exactly how I wanted it to towards a seamless circle. And it's able to be adjusted. Once you're finished, we have a beautiful heart felt wreath.